Hello again to this quick video tutorial on our Moodle admin in AI. We're going to look this time at the site administration, and we're going to go to the reports tab to be able to look at these in very quickly to get an overview of what each of these sections do. The first one is the reports comments over here, and basically this shows how comments are added across the Moodle. So it's useful for moderation and checking user interaction. So very, very important for all the courses to see when comments were made and the type of interaction that there is so that we don't miss anything when we are giving feedback, and also keeping an eye on the interactions. Then we have the backups section, which shows reports about course backups. And this is very useful because it helps admins check if courses are being saved safely, basically. We move down to configuration changes, which tracks changes made to Moodle settings. This is like a who changed what and when, and this is important depending on the levels of access to the Moodle and who has admin rights. For example, someone with admin rights then can make changes, and it's important to keep track of those. Moving down, we have the events list, which is a list of all the events Moodle can track. So login, submissions, updates, and this is like Moodle's events dictionary. Very important, I would say, because then it also helps with learning analytics, and we can see who has logged in and when, what they've submitted, and if there are any updates. So important information if we are also the teachers on the course. Moving down, we have antivirus failures. So it shows files that fail antivirus checks. And it is important because it helps us keep Moodle safe from infected files. So very, very important. Then we move down to logs, which gives us a detailed record of user activity, who logged in, clicked what, submitted what, and it's also very useful for learning analytics for us as teachers. And if we have to create reports for third parties like sponsors for participants on our courses. If we move down to live logs, this shows activity happening right now and is like watching Moodle live, basically. Then we have performance overview, which summarizes how well Moodle is running and helps us spot slowness or server stress. In this case, the performance overview, I think this is just a very generic explanation of what it does. And personally, I would have to look into it in more detail to learn more about what could cause slowness or server stress. Moving down, we have question instances, which is important because it shows where quiz questions are used, and it is helpful when editing or reusing quiz questions. So if we are creating different types of activities, this is a place where we would see question instances and the different types. So we would be able to also spot questions if a specific type of question is being repeatedly used rather than having a variety of questions. Moving down, we have security checks, which checks Moodles for security problems. It's a safety inspection for the platform, so very important. Then we have system status, which shows whether Moodle systems are healthy. If we look at it, then we can see that green means that it is healthy or good or everything is okay, while red or warnings would indicate that something needs fixing. In this case, we have the antivirus, that it is NA, not applicable, because no antivirus scanners are currently enabled. Going back, then we go down to theme usage, and in this case, it shows which themes are being used. We changed to Move. This is the Move theme that I installed in one of the previous videos, but initially it comes with Boost and Classic. If we go back to the main page, then we have the accessibility toolkit here, and it checks if Moodle is usable for everyone. So green screen readers, contrast, and we could also have extensions for universal design for learning, in the sense that we can have an accessibility extensions that allows us to change the type of fonts available, for example, for dyslexic users. And I think that that's really important. Then we have event monitoring rules, which are rules that trigger alerts when something important happens. For example, notify me as an admin if many logins fail. And then we have the spam cleaner, which finds and removes removes spam content to keep Moodle clean and safe. The next section down is the AI reports, and we have AI policy acceptance, which would show who has agreed to Moodle's AI rules. And it is important for ethical and responsible use of AI. If we had any AI policy acceptance, then it would show here. In this case, right now, we don't have any, so that's why there's nothing to display. The next one is AI usage, and under AI usage, we can see that it shows how AI tools are being used in the Moodle. So it helps us admins understand adoption, monitoring, misuse of any AI on the course or on the Moodle in general for specific courses. Report builder, then we have 3 sections. Custom reports lets us admins create our own reports and build exactly the data view that we need. So for example, as I mentioned before, sponsors may want learning analytics of their participants and know when they logged in, how many times, for how long, what activities they've completed, when they've completed them, whether they're meeting the criteria, etc. So that would be very useful in this case. Then we have custom report settings, which means that we can see how those reports could behave. And we have permissions, filters, and access rules, for example. Then we have custom report fields, which basically defines what information can appear in the reports that we want to create. For example, user role, course name, activity type, and the like. Finally, we have MFA reports, very, very important because it's the multi-factor authentication. So all factor report shows which extra login security methods are used. So is it through an app, an authenticator app, or just email or third-party authentication? And this helps keep accounts extra secure. So that's an overview of the reports portal. I hope it was useful. It's definitely going to be useful for me again in the future. And thanks for watching.